to ask while on stream, can you provide a guide to make a chair ergonomic for less than $100? I'm too broke for the hashtag sponsored chair. So hashtag sponsored LF Gaming, exclamation mark LF Gaming. Legitimately like these chairs. If you're gonna choose an aesthetic gaming chair, in my opinion, this is the only ergonomic one. The rest of them I think are garbage. I would only get a cheap gaming chair for aesthetics. Like because it looks good on camera or for videos. They are not, generally speaking, most people will not find them comfortable and there's gonna be postural issues with them for almost all the body types. There are a few exceptions, and if you happen to be that exception, congratulations, but most people are gonna have some issue somewhere. And if you're not gonna get a good, proper ergonomic chair, and I've never seen an ergonomic chair under $1,000, they've all been $1,000 to $1,500. Shifty said, right, that was a good one. Then, if you wanna save money, I would recommend doing a poor man's version of shopping for an ergonomic chair. So let's talk about how to shop for an ergonomic chair, poor man style, okay? You would need a couple pieces of equipment. Okay. There are 2 to 3 pieces of equipment that you should use that will solve, that will help make any chair work for you. The first one, I don't have them on me here, which I'm kind of sad. They're upstairs. The first one is a lumbar support. The LUT filter is making this hard to see. It is so black, right? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but this looks so pitch black. You can't see any texture on it, right? It looks almost like there's a black hole on the screen, right? This is my LUT filter. If you guys are streamers and you never heard of a LUT filter, let me show you what it is. It helps clean up colors. It cleans up colors. Let me turn off the LUT filter. Everything's gonna get very washed out. Now you can actually see. Now you can see the texture on it. The LUT filter makes it look way blacker than it actually is. So I'm gonna turn this back on in a second, but get a good look. This is a lumbar support. This exclamation mark health. Well, there's a hole in my screen. Exclamation mark health. You can see one of these is a cheap $20 one. LF Gaming also has a lumbar support that's more expensive. And it's nicer too. It's more, but that one's more expensive. It's like $80 or something. Okay, a lumbar support. That's 1. 2. You may want a seat cushion and exclamation mark LF Gaming. They actually sell a really nice one. It's like $80, but it'll work for almost any chair. You can find cheaper ones, but I would consider their seat cushion because it feels so damn good. Anyway, there's a seat cushion. You may need a seat cushion. You may need a lumbar support, and you may want a footrest. Again, this is an expensive one. This is the LF Gaming one. This is a, I think like a $80 footrest, but it weighs 10 pounds. It is incredibly sturdy, and the Brisa leather, it feels so damn smooth. Like, it's incredibly smooth feeling. It feels like I'm massaging my feet. My feet are on clouds. Anyway, that aside, you can also get a cheap $10 one. That's like a semicircle, half cylinder one. That works too. So I just laid out a few different pieces of equipment you might need. If you wanna go the poor man's route, you get the $20 lumbar support, a $20 seat cushion. Kitten Little Bits, hello, thank you for the raid. I didn't know you streamed. What do you stream? Let us know, please. And also some sort of footrest. With those 3 pieces of equipment, you can probably go shop and find a cheap chair and make it ergonomic, okay? So now let's actually talk about how to shop for that. But Kitten Little Bits, welcome. Feel free to share. What do you stream? Welcome new people. We're talking about ergonomics right now. I'm CLE certified. I love talking about ergonomics. Basically, I do ergonomic reviews, exclamation mark ergo. So, sorry, I got distracted by something. Okay, Dabeard, welcome. Wow, all these raiders coming in together. Welcome, Dabeard. Dabard. Sorry, reading names was hard. Dabard, welcome. Welcome, new people. This is Domination Time, the live stream where we lift weights as a fitness motivational talk show. Wife was my co-host. We're gonna do games tonight, Witcher 3 tonight and tomorrow night. And we also do, she does Just Dance sometimes at night, and I do the morning fitness streams. We're just talking about ergonomics, how to be a smart shopper for ergonomics. We're gonna go through all that. Yeah. Debard, feel free to share what you stream. Yeah, do shout outs for them both, please. Dutch for the beard. Speaking of Dutch, we're going to Amsterdam, TwitchCon EU. If you are going, join my Discord, ! Discord, and tell us that you're going. You know what? I'm gonna go grab some equipment. No, I'm not gonna grab all the equipment. No, I'm not gonna grab the equipment. Anyway, does LF Game have a good return policy? Yes, 30 days, but you think you have to pay for the shipping back. At McShane, I stand by their chairs, and I will cover your return shipping for the chairs. For other ones, like the footrest, fuck it, I'll cover it. I'll cover your return shipping if you don't like it. I really like their footrest. It's super sturdy and it feels super smooth. But DM me first, McShane, before you order. Because code TOM15 for 15% off, actually. It's a temporary code right now. But talk to me about it. In North America only. Okay. All right, so let's talk about how to shop for a chair now. Here's what I would do. I would go to a furniture store like IKEA or Staples. I would bring with you the lumbar support and bring with you, well, you may not need to bring the footrest with you, but if you can, it'd be a good idea. And bring the seat cushion if you have one. Okay, what you're gonna be looking for is basically a chair that doesn't get in your way. Now, you could try bringing nothing. So first of all, if you bring nothing, that's fine. And go try to find a chair that is going to help you get a neutral curve in your spine. Where you are, I gotta take off my clothes. Gotta strip down a little bit. Where you want to have a neutral curve in your spine. This chair back is flat. This chair back is flat. And so therefore, if I lean into it, you wanna be seated and relaxed. Oh, the cameras are messed up. It's faded in that other camera, don't worry about it. I'll fix it later. So I'm kind of relaxed right now, but my back is flat. I don't have a neutral curve. The neutral curve is a lordotic curve where fuck it, we're taking the shirt off. I tried not to strip, guys, because they're forcing me to. Okay, so if I'm leaning back here, look at my low back. My low back is doing what? It's flat against this. That's not gonna be good long term. What I would want instead, I'm being extreme here, but I would want a neutral curve in there where my lumbar is curving inward or has lordotic curve, okay? So, this chair isn't good for that, actually. However, you might find other chairs out there that have a lumbar support. It has a lumbar curve in there built in. Those can be okay, but in my experience, they're usually kind of crappy. So what you would do is sit in that chair and try to see if you can feel comfortable. Sit in it for like 20 minutes or so, see if you feel comfortable. The key things to look for is making sure you have a bit of a neutral curve here, making sure that you can sit down with your back against the chair and you feel relaxed, you feel supported, making sure that you are clearing, there's a gap here between, like with your butt all the way back, there's a gap between your knee and the chair, right? You don't want to be like, let's say I'm really short. My legs would not clear the chair, right? Like the chair would be digging into my knee. That's good. As a short person, that would not work for me. Chair height is rarely an issue, but you want to make sure that your feet can touch the floor flat or at a slightly open angle. So you want either 90-90-90 or slightly open for your knees, your hips, and your arms. So 90-90-90 or slightly open. Okay, somewhere around there. So like 90 degrees, 110 degrees, somewhere in that order would be nice. Now, if you can't find a good chair to do that, and most of the time you won't find a good chair, this is where the other equipment comes in handy. So, let's look at the lumbar support. This chair is one of my favorite chairs. In fact, it costs nothing because I got this from my old church because they're throwing out all these chairs, and I grabbed them because there's a couple of things why I like this one, and I would look for a chair that's similar to this. I know I'm disappointing. So, Debard, what do you stream, by the way? Do you stream cycling? And Kitten, what do you stream? Let me know. Oh, so are you a fitness streamer, Debard? Okay, so what would I look for in a chair? I would find one that's similar to this, where one, it's got a flat back, so it does not get in the way of a lumbar support. I can add my own, and I can modify it as needed. Also, the fact that it's leaned back slightly allows for a lumbar support cushion to get in here, and now my back is still at a slightly back angle or a little bit upright, and that's okay. The second thing is, this cushion is actually very thick. It's a very thick, comfy cushion. I like that quite a bit. If it didn't have a thick, comfy cushion, then you can use a third-party seat cushion. You put it down here and you sit on it, then your ass won't hurt, okay? Because if it's a very thin, hard piece of plastic, your ass will hurt after a while. So you need something soft to take care of your butt. So that's something to think about. The third thing is, if it's a static chair like this, which does not control for height, this chair's a little bit short for me. If you look carefully, this is really hard to see, but basically, like, I'm an inch too tall for this chair. It'd be better if this chair was like an inch higher off the ground, so that way I had like a perfect 90 degrees type thing here. So that's a minor thing. So what would I do? Pookie, I would go to the furniture store, I would bring all this equipment, I would start sitting in different chairs for like 20-30 minutes, do normal stuff. I would try to see if I can find one that's gonna check off all that criteria and it's gonna feel comfortable. And realistically, I think I might have an easier time finding a chair that's actually very plain and straight and add my own modifications to it, like a lumbar support, like a seat cushion if my ass hurts after a while, or a footrest. If you're short, you might need a footrest. If the chair is like awkwardly tall, you might need a footrest. For me, I don't really need a footrest because I'm tall. If you're like 5'5" or shorter, you might need a footrest depending on the setup. Didn't realize it's so complicated. Maybe let's convert to a standing desk. This is why an ergonomic chair, it's all in one. It's got everything you need. Otherwise, if you want to save money, if I were a poor college student and knowing what I know, I could buy a chair for less than $100 with some basic modifications and make it ergonomic for me and make it fit my body. But you just got to know how to look for these things. Pookie, I do free ergonomic reviews, man. So if you want to get your setup reviewed, I'll do it for you. Just !ergo, give me your info. Now, another thing too about armrests, I'll say this really quick. Cheap chairs usually have no armrest, or the armrests will collide, or they won't adjust, and so they might collide with the desk. Regarding armrests, if you're gonna buy a chair that's armrests and it's a cheap chair, make sure you can easily remove the armrests if they don't work for you. The main issue is you don't want the armrest to collide with the desk such that you can't get close to the desk. You end up kind of getting pushed out and you have to extend your body to reach it. That happens sometimes. And in those cases, I would recommend just strip out the armrests. Brent Trek, that'd be fun. Armrest never worked for me. Yeah, I mean, this is why I like the LF Gaming armrests, because they're very adjustable. Like, they swivel and they can go up and down. Now, granted, as a complaint, I do have a complaint and a criticism for this chair, which is for this price point at $1,500, but 15% off the code TOM15, which is actually brings it down to like $1,200. Or no, not $1,200, like $1,300 or something like that. But anyway, I wish the armrest moved a little bit more. That's what I wish they would do. Boloram says the main problem with armrest is the ulnar nerve around the elbow, easily inflamed and really painful. Are you saying that's the case for you, or are you saying that's the case for all armrests? If the armrest is adjustable, do you recommend it to go over the table or under? Honestly, it should be okay, so for desk height, your elbows should be basically at keyboard or desk height, maybe slightly above, but you don't want to be under. So the armrest should basically line up with the height of the table. The better thing about armrest would be the armrest could go backwards or be short or swivel out of the way. Because some chairs have armrests that are really long, and they're so long they'll end up colliding and protruding or colliding with the desk. And that's kind of the problem. Yeah, shifting in and out would be nice. Boloram saying about the armrests irritating the ulnar nerve and the elbow. Tennis elbow diagnosed the gamer. I actually disagree with that. I strongly disagree with that. That for most people, armrests are going to give them tennis elbow or gamer elbow. A doctor diagnosed you with this. He may have diagnosed you with it, but if he didn't, I mean, I would need to see your ergonomic setup, because I'll bet you like there's a 90% chance that there's something else in your setup causing the gamer elbow and not the armrest itself. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I've helped fix gamer elbow and tennis elbow in other people because their setup was poor. There was a problem in their setup, like Payans, for example. I'm not sure if Payans is here. I looked at his problem. He was having the same problem. Tennis elbow, tight traps. I looked at it, I was like, dude, there's your problem. Fix this, fix that. And his problem was gone. Even though a doctor diagnosed you with it, I mean, doctors aren't always right about things. Many ergonomists are, I'm not an ergonomist. Ergonomists, like, you have to have a master's in kinesiology. And physical therapists will give different answers about this, which is basically, I mean, like, they would agree with me. But anyway, because of my doctor. Right, the appeal to authority sometimes makes sense. I do appeal to authority sometimes too, but I'm at least identifying that, well, this is the camp that I'm in of this appeal to authority, which is, no, the armrests, I'm not saying they can't cause it, but I'm gonna bet you, Bolaram, if you show me, like, if you want to do an ergonomic review, if you show me your setup, I will probably spot a problem that's aggravating your tennis elbow or gamer's elbow. Okay, Pookie says, based on your recommendations, I think my setup is actually pretty good. Only problem is lumbar support on my squishy executive chair. Yeah, that's the problem with those squishy ones. They tend to be kind of shitty. The built-in lumbar supports tend to be kind of crappy. It basically sucks you in, rounding your shoulders out. Yeah, rounding your shoulders is bad. I am going to switch this over. All right, so the overlay color is going to change. We're going to leave it like this for a while to see how people like this one, because I know it's going to be weird at first because it's like, well, that's a really different color change. We're going to leave it here for like 20-30 minutes. We'll switch it back. But like Secret Labs, no, not really. Green Bay, I think they're very similar in the same problem. The bucket seat design is awful. The bucket seat design for chairs, of the gaming chairs, it forces your shoulders. Fine, I'll take the shirt off again. I don't try to do this, guys, but I have to. It's so much easier to see it like this. Because, you know, it's funny, my coach, he actually appreciates that I wear almost no clothes, that I'm shirtless, and I wear very tight pants, because then he can actually coach and see what my body's doing very easily. Okay, so having the bucket seat design with the wings, what that's gonna do is, if you're a broad shoulder like me, so here's the problem with gaming chairs. I'm going to like break it down why these will rarely work for anybody, okay? If you are a bigger person, you are probably taller and you probably have broad shoulders. The broad shoulders is gonna lead to the problem of when you lean back, and you want your shoulders back and retracted. You don't want them to be protracted like this, okay? And if you're broad shouldered and you want to lean back in the chair so you're supported and at rest, which is really how you should be in a chair, then as you lean back, your shoulders are gonna roll forward, because those wings on the outside roll you forward because it's a bucket seat. That is fine if you're pulling 3Gs in a race, but I'm sorry, you guys aren't pulling 3Gs in a race when you're playing games. I don't care how exciting it is. So then you might be thinking, oh, okay, so a short person would be better then for that chair, but that's not the case either, because a smaller person with doesn't have broad shoulders, they will probably be shorter, and if you're shorter, their seat pan doesn't adjust. The seat pan doesn't adjust, then your femur or your thigh will probably be too short to clear the chair, because those gamer chairs are meant for bigger people. I mean, so far as I've seen, almost all of them, they're locked in their shape and size. You can't adjust it, and it's meant for a bigger person. So you may have clearance problems where your knee doesn't clear the chair. So who do I think the gamer chairs might fit? Probably someone who's like 5'6" to 5'10" and has narrow shoulders. Then you could actually make the gaming chairs work pretty well for you. That's like the one type of person who might work. Mesh chair for the win. Mesh chairs are okay. Like the Herman Miller Aeron is extremely popular, and I think that's really overrated. You're kind of paying a bit for name brand. And they're not that adjustable. Herman Miller Aerons, I don't consider them to be an ergonomic chair because they have very limited adjustment features. That being said, if you feel comfortable in a plain chair, that's fine. If you can get a good ergonomic setup in a plain chair, do it. You don't need to spend $1,000 on a chair, $1,500 on a top end chair. The problem with the Herman Miller and mesh chairs in general is if you're a heavier person or you're sensitive to pressure, you may experience this, where on the mesh, you will sink down, but the lip of the chair is hard plastic and it won't sink. And you may feel the Herman Miller plastic rim digging into your leg. And you may experience that if you're sitting down for a long period of time, or if you're sensitive to pressure, or if you're a heavier person. You will probably notice that. That is not the case for everybody though. And mesh chairs can be quite nice because they're cooling. They can be better for staying cool. So I just think they're like, the Herman Miller is like overly advertised as being amazing. And I think there's a bit of a fan club around it, and like they're not bad, but I've sat in a lot of Herman Miller chairs. I did not find most of them to be ergonomic. The ones that were ergonomic were like $1,500. Bob Ross says, if I were to upgrade our Herman Miller to an ergonomic chair with lumbar support, any recommendations? To a good ergonomic chair, there's only 3 ergonomic chairs I really liked, and I'll tell you the names of all of them. One of them is LF Gaming, the Stealth. The second one is Soma Ergo, and I can't remember the name. If you're really interested, I'll pull this up, but they're all like $1,000 to $1,500. These there's only 3 brands of companies I saw out there after going to the Ergo Expo in Las Vegas, after like sitting in probably close to 100 different types of office chairs, gaming chairs, and stuff like that. There's only 3 companies I saw. No, there's 2 other ones that I heard were good, but I never tried them. Steel Case Leap, I've heard good things about, but that one's also like $1,000. But it doesn't, the cushion looks kind of thin. And there's a 5th one. There was another gaming chair company that did produce a nice $1,000 one, and it looked good. It looked like a good ergonomic chair, but I can't remember the name of it. It was like really red. It was a red chair, and it was a big gaming chair company. That one looked okay. I didn't sit in, I didn't try it, so I can't say. But Green Bay Bucks, thank you, I appreciate that. But hey, Bob Ross, let me know if you want, how you want me to give you recommendations. Kitten Little Bits, I'm glad that it sounds like you figured out your pinched nerve issue. Yeah, so there you go. Bob Ross fixed. So you had the pressure point problems before, but you lost weight and you adjust your legs, so the pressure points aren't an issue. Yeah. So like that's something that people don't talk about, which is mesh chairs can produce pressure point annoyances. Then again, sitting all day is just bad. Like I'll tell you, I can sit in these chairs a pretty long time and I feel pretty good. But if I'm sitting in it literally for 10 hours in a day, yeah, I start to feel uncomfortable after a while. But versus like other chairs, like this one here, maybe my limit is like 5 or 6 hours. The one at work is pretty good too, but that one's kind of thin on the cushioning, and that one's like 4 hours. Anyway, yeah, if you're alternating a sitting, so like here's another thing too. If you're only sitting 2 or 3 hours a day and you have kind of a crappy-ish chair, not that great, like this one, this is fine for me before anyway, because I wasn't sitting that long anyway. I would sit maybe 3 or 4 hours in a day, and I kind of break that up between sitting and standing. It's not a big deal. But the longer you're gonna be, if you're sitting down all day and you're working from home or you're gaming a lot and you have the money, I legitimately think investing in quality furniture is an important thing. But if you're poor, you're a college student, you're not sitting down that much, you don't need it. If you like the content, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Also, follow us on Twitch and leave the notifications on. Feed your brain, feed your body, and see you next time.